This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Skip Money.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast of the Tri-Cities in Western North Carolina. So today I am very excited to have an interesting guest in our studio for the first time, and I'm sure you'll be just as excited as I am because today I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Mr. Stephen McHone, who is the owner-operator of McHone Performance Training. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Skip. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you. Like I said, very interested to learn all about what you do. You told me right in the green room that you were already been on a trail run at 6 a.m. So you make me feel bad about that because I did not. but you're encouraging me. So why don't you kick us off by telling us about what you do?
Yeah. So owner, founder of McHone Performance Training. Tagline is where local legends train. So we're a performance studio for mountain athletes and adventurers. So we're a little bit non-traditional athletes. So we focus on helping people who get out into Western North Carolina and the Appalachian region and trying to keep them fit and well for mountain life and adventuring. So it could be hiking, backpacking, mountain biking, trail running, climbing. We try to keep all of our adventure sports folks healthy so they can stay out there and keep adventuring.
Wow. A little bit of everything, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, Stephen, how did you get into this business?
I grew up in Western North Carolina, and I had a father who was a park ranger. And unfortunately, as I was growing up, kind of saw what happens when you don't take care of your health and wellness. So to see my father go from an avid outdoorsman and adventure lover to being someone who was stuck in home and due to his physical limitations, he kind of lost the ability to be outside and be in wilderness. So early age, I decided I wanted to try to be more fit and healthy just so I could continue doing those kinds of things.
Very good. Awesome. I have a similar story, actually. Can motivate you what you see when you're a kid, for sure.
Right.
So what are some myths or misconceptions in the performance training business? Can you think of any?
I feel like people think that not everyone needs to strength train, or the misconceptions that strength training will make you Arnold Schwarzenegger, or you're going to have these big. Yeah, I was my earlier career, I was a competitive bodybuilder, and I can assure you that it takes a lot more than showing up to the gym a couple days a week to become a bodybuilder. So one of the misconceptions is, if you lift weights, you're going to be big and bulky. We work with a lot of athletes, and their misconception is that strength training will make them slow. And I like people to know, if you're more fit and you're stronger, you're not going to be slower. So that's one of the misconceptions, that strength will slow you down, but it's quite the opposite.
Quite the opposite. Wow. Well, you trust me, if twice a week could make me Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'd be in the gym.
I'd sell a lot more memberships. Yeah,
That's right. Well, you mentioned, you're trying to keep people healthy so that they can stay outdoors and do their adventures. Who are your target clients, and how do you reach them?
So our target market is typically the adult adventure athlete. So we kind of find that around age 30, our bodies, you can't heal it with beer and tacos anymore. So you got to start, adding something into the mix. And, so we teach people not only like strength training, but, self-care, stretching, rolling techniques and things they can do to help them, stay fit and healthy with their endeavors. So it's, our majority of our folks are kind of mid 30s to mid 60s. We have some of our outliers where we have a couple of high school athletes. And then we have one of my favorite athletes is Bonnie. Bonnie's 74, and she loves downhill mountain biking. So wide range.
Wow.
Yeah.
30 to 60. And how do you reach those folks?
A lot of it is being at the places that they're going to be at, being out at the races. We sponsor races. We're involved in the races. Our coaches are also athletes, so they're out there in the community. And, we volunteer, whether it's, trail building, handing out food, things like that. So we just try to be involved in directly helping out with the events and the members.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, outside of work, I imagine I know. What do you like to do for fun?
Jump in waterfalls, mountain bike, trail run, just trying to live the things I want to do. And my goal is to never stop adventuring and trying to always learn something new. So this year I'm getting a little bit more into the whitewater sports. And this fall I hope to play around a little bit more with climbing. So getting out on some big rock stuff.
Wow. Have you done mountain climbing, rock climbing before?
No, but we also train several of the local guide companies to help them stay fit for being out there and taking folks up. So I've been telling them for a while I'm going to get out there with them. So
there you go.
It's good to be out there. So it lets me feel like what others feel like when they come into the gym the first time and they're nervous. That's going to be me on Looking Glass Rock this year.
There you go. Well, let's switch gears for just a second. Can you describe a hardship or a life challenge that you've overcome and how it made you stronger in the end?
Yeah, I mean, life just, it comes at you. The Rocky say, life's going to come at you and it's going to beat you down, and you have to keep getting back up. And that's part of being the human experience. Our bodies go through things and different things get thrown in the mix. The first thing that comes up is after our first year being open, COVID happened. So we had a year where we're like, wow, like this is gonna be something. We had grown and we had started off the second year of our business, and then we got shut down. We live in a state and in an area where the lockdown lasted a bit longer than some areas. My gym was in a complex where I'm worried about my neighbor, sending an email that they saw me talking to someone without a mask, and we just had to pivot. So we started moving all of our equipment outdoors every day. So behind my original gym, we had a big outdoor space. So I had bought a 2-ton rolling rack, like a big industrial rolling rack. And we would put all the equipment on the rolling rack and roll it outside. And we'd work out. And any of you guys that live here in the mountain region, it rains in the summer or spring, almost every day. This summer in particular, it's been
insane. It's been insane, man.
Yeah. So, we would be outside working out, and all of a sudden you'd see the clouds rolling up, and all right, load everything on the cart, push it back inside. So, we pivoted on the COVID stuff. When we were allowed to come back indoors, we had to go with a lot of restrictions, but, our members and our community continued to show up, and, whatever we had to do to keep moving and stay healthy and support our community, we just pivoted on that. And we got through it, built a really strong community. And then, we got hit with a lien. I moved my studio last year about this time into the Biltmore Village. And that's kind of one of the ground zeros. So, I'd had my other studio for 5 years. It was our big push. So we got to move into a bigger studio space in Biltmore Village and invested in new equipment. And it was our big chance. And then 6 months into that, complete devastation from Hurricane Helene, which is also was my 40th birthday. So I got to spend my 40th birthday pushing sludge essentially out of my gym. So while a disaster tourist came and took pictures of me and talked about how sad it was, I was spending my 40th birthday, sweeping away my dreams. But you show up when you get hit, and you just keep showing up. So I showed up every day, cleaned off a little more sludge, took all my metal equipment, took my dumbbells, kettlebells, anything that I could salvage. And we took it up to my house. My house looked like a backyard gym. It just has all my squat racks, my parking area, my dumbbells and kettlebells, and anything metal that we could keep. We were out there. We didn't have water for I think at least 3 weeks. So
Wow.
I had friends that were coming by and helping us refill my tubs so that we could bring water down and spray off the equipment. So that was a little fun hiccup. I had an amazing team, an amazing staff who stuck through this one with me, and they were out there with toothbrushes and spray bottles and helping get all the grime off of it and making things happen. So that was our scenario. We, got everything cleaned off, and we said, all right, well, we still have people to keep fit. So we took our kettlebells and dumbbells to a park, and 5 days a week we had workouts in the morning and in the evening, and continued to do that while our space got renovated, and took about 3 months for them to completely renovate the space and make it safe. I think we were the second business back in Biltmore Village after the storm.
Wow. And your birthday, September 26th.
Oh, it's the 28th. So the storm happened. Yeah, it's the 28th. So that it happened the 27th was the biggest part of the storm. And then the first, the water was still on the 27th when I went down to look at the gym. There was probably still 5 feet of water. We had roughly 9 feet of water in there at the height of it.
Wow.
So all of our treadmills, our bikes, our rowers, and then it wasn't just mud and water. It was a lot of toxic chemicals and pollutants and things like that in there. So a lot of the stuff we just had to get rid of because it became a biohazard. And then I looked at my bank account and I said, I don't have any money, so this is going to be interesting because we had spent our money to get into the new space and outfit it. So that's when like blessings just started happening. During COVID, I'd written, for grants, and we didn't get any grants because we were such a small new business. So this time around, when I started writing out for grants, every time I click submit, I expected nothing back, So I would, submit another grant, and I'm like, well, I just wasted 2 hours of telling my sob story again on an email. And then all of a sudden grants started showing up.
Wow.
And grants that could really help, not just like buy me another dumbbell, but like grants that like could change the trajectory. One of our coaches also had set up a GoFundMe account, and our GoFundMe hit, I think, right around $35,000. So between the grant and GoFundMe, yeah, I was telling people it was just a lot of emotions during that time. I would hear a ding on my phone. I'd get an alert that we'd had another donation, and I would just, someone I hadn't talked to since high school, had donated $1,000 and said, we want to see you open. So
wow,
things like that. So we were blessed to be able to come back, and we were actually able to rebuy all of our equipment and upgrade some of the equipment. So we were able to come back, bigger and better than before the storm. So we're back up and going. So that was a little bit of a hardship we went through there, and now we're thriving. We're busier than we were before this storm, and looking forward to what we can continue to do.
Wow! So you're back in Biltmore Village.
Yeah. It's hard for businesses these days. If you're a small business, especially in an area like Asheville, there's a lot of competition, and the prices are not there for the small business entrepreneur. So, the options you get presented are you're either in a floodplain or you're in a less desirable area. So we're making the most of it. We have 4 years left on our lease there, and now we have action plans. So we're going to be on high alert during this next hurricane season. We have local, all the folks that live in the neighborhoods that have trucks. We all have a list now that if it looks like it's going to go this way next time around, we're going to pull the trucks down. We're going to put the treadmills and all the equipment that we're worried about in the trucks, take them to higher ground, and that's about all we can do. So we have a plan, and you never expect something to go so wrong.
No. Well, I live right on the Nominate River, if you know where that's at, right near the not too far from the AT.
Yeah, and one of our members, he's part owner of USA Raft. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of connections around here with the surrounding areas and the mountain communities. Our guides, they work in the Nolichucky, they work in Tennessee, they work in Kentucky. The climbers, the rafters, the mountain bike guides, and we were all like hit in a real widespread way for that one.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a horrible situation, but stories like yours, and I've talked to so many people in Western North Carolina about very similar stories where neighbors came out helping neighbors, people showing up that were fortunate. Like me, I was pretty fortunate. I had to replace my roof, but that was about it. Very resilient community coming together. It's been a real blessing, I think, from my perspective.
One of the moments that we had was we basically got given 24 hours to remove all the equipment out of the facility after not hearing a whole lot of communication to that point. And we were given 24 hours to get all of our equipment out and told that they were going to start the remodel demo project the next day at 5:00. Wow. So we put a message out to our members, and big shout out to Zen Contracting. One of our members, Zen, he brought his contract company in, and in 50 minutes, with the help of him and our members, we had pulled everything out, cleaned up shop, and we were done. So, wow. Seeing those moments where the community shows up, having the folks help us clean, having folks help us pull things out, and it's, all walks of life. You got CEOs in the back parking lot with full the hazmat suit on, and they're going out there and getting on a Zoom call in between, helping us clean up and things like that. So it really gave us the hope and inspiration to continue.
Absolutely. Awesome story. Well, Stephen, if you could think of one thing that you'd like our listeners to remember about you and about McHone Performance Training, what would that be?
Oh, that if you live in the Appalachian Range, to me, you're a mountain adventurer, and whether your adventure is looking at birds and going for a walk in the park, or your adventure is getting to the tops of the highest peaks, continue to move your body and look into the possibility of strength training if you feel like you're not capable to do things that you love, and try to never stop adventuring.
Awesome. And if any of our listeners are, intrigued, interested, and want to try to improve their strength so that they can get out and do some wild stuff in the wild, how can we learn more?
You can go to McHonePerformanceTraining.com and reach out to us on our contact link. We do some remote training. We are hoping to expand into other mountain towns. My vision with McHone Performance Training is to have 10 mountain gyms in 10 mountain towns. One of those being Johnson City, Tennessee, is kind of a part of my vision. So I want to give mountain athletes a place, and mountain folks in general, a place that feels more welcoming to them, and a place that can keep them fit. So look us up and keep an eye out. Hopefully we'll come to a mountain town near you. So.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely be watching for that, Stephen. Thank you so much. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule between clients to tell us all about your story and your journey and all the great things you're doing at McHone Performance Training, and wish you and your family and your clients, your business, all the best moving forward.
Awesome. Thanks, Skip. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. And maybe we can have you back sometime, maybe when you open some of those in other mountain towns.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnptry-cities.com. That's gnptry-cities.com or call 423-719-5873.